Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. I'm going to be breaking down last night's four-game slate. It was a pretty good night for us here in the DFS Sweatshop. A lot of good winners we saw from the Cats and the VIP. Also, just tonight was one of those nights for me, man. I played very light. I'm talking about 2% of my overall bankroll, man, and won $1. Didn't lose anything. Profit is profit. Just didn't really like the small slate. There was so much injury stuff going on with the Dallas Mavericks, and so much value was going to be opening up. And I thought I was going to see so many lineups with, two or three of the top players of the night all in one, all of the high dollar guys together. I just couldn't get my bearings. And also, I had to work tonight at the restaurant, so I just didn't have enough time to really sit back and tinker and make those rosters that I really felt comfortable putting more money on. So I played lightly, made $1. Pretty good night. Anytime you come away with your buy-in, it's a pretty good night for me because I am a tournament player. I'm looking to either lose it all or win big. And tonight, I got my money back, so that's okay. Real quick, I'm very happy about this weekend. Actually, tonight when I clocked out at the restaurant, that was the last time I'm going to be clocking in there until Monday. See, y'all thought I'd quit my job. I ain't ready for that yet. We gonna get there. I still got to work. Just don't bring in that much money to where I need these two jobs. I got 5 kids. My wife like to have a few nice things every now and then, so I got to keep these couple of jobs. But we gonna get there, okay? Now, the reason why I'm going to be off for a few days is because, number one, tomorrow, I want to really get into it with the cats and the VIP in the Facebook groups. I really want to get into it with y'all. I'm going to be doing, in addition to tonight's video, we're going to be doing a midday mix like we did for the last 9-game slate, as well as a pre-lock leading you right up into when lineups lock, I believe, at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So we're going to be doing all of those. If you missed tonight's video, make sure that you're in the Facebook group when you can be. It's going to be around 1 o'clock. We're going to do that midday mix. And if you missed both of those, please be around maybe an hour before lock. Probably about 6:15, we're going to go in and really break down the slate and adjust to any new news that comes up. This is what I want to do every day. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I have a couple jobs. I have to work those. That's just what it is. So I'm really excited about doing those 3 shows, or these 3 shows for everybody, and hopefully this is something we can definitely do a lot more often. Real quick, just want to throw it out there. We have a king of the sweatshop tonight. It's the big homie Nolan Mendoza. Went out and fucking balled, man. Had a really great night. This is a guy who's been with us for not a very long time in the sweatshop, but he really picked it up real quick. And you could tell it was a sigh of relief. He was like, damn, it's about time I finally won a lot of money. And he definitely did that tonight, man. Took home almost a stack. He's scored 329 points in the 5K, the high five. That's a $5 buy-in tournament. It's a single entry tournament. Really smart play there. Scored 329 DraftKings points. Took second place in that. Also, I believe probably had the same lineup because he was also in the NBA 35K buzzer beater. Had 3. It was 3 entry max tournament. He also, every lineup he put in there cashed. Really nice one. So that means he had some core stuff that he stuck to. That is a hallmark of the DFS sweatshop. Also, he was in the 5K 3 entry max, the 5K Niner 3 entry max, and it's 5K guaranteed. Couple lineups in there. It was a $9 buy-in. That lineup cash. So Nolan Mendoza, you are tonight's king of the DFS sweatshop. Salute to you. Thank you for repping the sweatshop like a real boss, finishing in really nice places and making them look up at the logo. Appreciate you so much for you doing that, bro. Now let's go ahead and jump into the feature for plays of the night. The reason why we're doing this is because I'm ready to talk about tomorrow's 10-game slate. And number 2, I did not issue a core 4 on slates 5 games or less. We are stacking. We're simply stacking. We're going after the best point totals, the best players in the best matchups, and we're going to get and fit as many of those guys as we can into our lineups and really try to scour the league and the player pool for that low-owned guy that's going to really, really separate us from the rest of the field. And I'm sure the king of the sweatshop, Nolan Mendoza, did that tonight, which is why he is sitting pretty. A lot of other cats had good nights too, but I really want to get tonight's 10-game slate, so we're going to go ahead and jump into that. But first, let's go ahead and hop into the feature for players of the night. First guy we're going to talk about is the Who Dat scoring all them points over there, player of the night, and this is Ivica Zubac. This dude at 3K, 0.9% ownership. Nobody owned him. Less than 1% of everybody that played tonight owned this guy. He went out and scored 31.5 DraftKings points, 10x on him. Excellent game we saw from Zubac. How did I miss that player tonight? This is going to go to a guy who, I'm never on this guy. I'm always somebody who's telling you, hey, I don't think he's in a good spot. Don't roster him. But on last night's show, when we talked about stacks, he was the guy that I mentioned. I was like, yo, if you're going to stack, if you're gonna stack this team, there's only 2 plays that you can make, and I wouldn't necessarily stack more than that. I would do maybe a one-off of each one, or maybe you can get both of those guys on one team. And that's exactly what happened tonight. And I didn't have him anywhere. I was real heavy on Harrison Barnes or paying down at the small forward position, but that wasn't the way to go tonight. Tonight, Paul George, you are the how did I miss that play of the night. You went out at 7.K, 21% ownership, so a lot of people were on you. Scored 46.5 DraftKings points. An excellent game you saw from Paul George, and maybe he's trending up. This is something that we want to keep an eye on going down the road, because this is a guy who was an all-star, perennial all-star. And after that injury he still had some decent games, but he hadn't been the same lately. So maybe this is a turnaround for him. We got to stay tuned to that. The next play we're going to talk about is the heat check play tonight. Comes from the same team. Guy I really liked. Did not understand why the ownership was so low on Jeff T tonight. 7.2K, 17% ownership, 53.5 DraftKings points. And the horrible thing about my lineups tonight is the lineups that I had him in didn't cash. I rolled out 5 lines. The 2 lineups that I had him in didn't cash because I didn't pair him with anybody else that did well. But the other lines I did cash are the ones I had. I had Westbrook, and I had also Karl Anthony Towns. I had Harrison Barnes, we talked about just a second ago. I had those guys, and I didn't pair any of those guys with Jeff T, and I really should have, man. He anchored my lineup and had a really, really nice night out. That's why tonight, Jeff, salute. You were the heat check player tonight. Now, let's talk about that one motherfucker. I'm going to sit back for this, because usually I don't pick on people that get hurt and have injuries. I don't do that. I understand what it means, to be injured in the line of duty. I understand that. So I don't pick on people that have injuries. But tonight, with your old chair punching ass, Enes Kanter, you a motherfucking snowflake with your dumb ass. Hit a shot. Don't hit a chair. Hit the boards. Don't hit the motherfucking folding chair. That ain't gonna help you. With your snowflake ass. How the fuck you go out there with over 20% of everybody that's playing NBA DFS riding on your back? Your back is already against the wall because you're a fucking bench player. You ain't even a starter. For some reason, you're priced up higher than the dude that's actually starting. And you're going to go out, not only not have a great game, not have a good game, but you're going to punch the chair and break your fucking arm. Man, you's a motherfucking snowflake, and I ain't going to roster your ass again. Till that forearm heal up, and you in one of them little juicy matchups where we know Steven Adams can't move like you, and they pull you off the bench and you go out, you get a double-double in 13 minutes. But tonight, you a motherfucking snowflake. Your snowflake ass. Let's get on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump into a quick recap of last night's games. It is always good to know where you've come from if you want to know where you're trying to get to. We're going to start in Oklahoma City where the Thunder were taking on the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to start on the Mavericks side, man. And it'd be funny who led this actual team in minutes tonight. It was Dorian Finney-Smith. 40 minutes for him. He had 11 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, and 4 steals to go with the block. Really nice game we saw from him at that price point. I believe it was minimum salary. Harrison Barnes, 38 minutes for him. He had 31 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal while shooting 50% from the field and hit 2 of 2 3-pointers. Pretty decent game there. We only saw Andrew Bogut for 17 minutes. He only had 6 points and 3 boards. Not a good game for him at all. Seth Curry, little bruh, went out in 33 minutes and had 11 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Not a great game for him. He was the chalk, man. 45% ownership was on him tonight. Everybody thought he was in a really good spot. Turns out, not so much. Now, the Pierre Jackson shit, what kind of bullshit was that? Oh, Pierre Jackson is starting at 9 a.m. By 2 o'clock, Pierre Jackson is not starting. It's going to be Devin Harris. But then, wait a minute, right before lock, it's going to be Pierre Jackson. And no, Devin Harris may start. And then, when the lineup's already locked, we find out that Pierre Jackson is starting. And then the motherfucker get hurt. Well, at least you went out and you were just supposed to do. You went out and you got that 6x value for scoring 18 DraftKings points. So, in 13 minutes, he was slated for a really good game. He was setting up to be a nice play. He had 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. Pretty decent game in just 13 minutes for Pierre Jackson. Pretty good game. Justin Anderson off the bench in 24 minutes has 17 and 5 to go with an assist. Did not see much else from the Dallas Mavericks side. On the Oklahoma City side, now you guys know how bullish I am on rostering Russell Westbrook. And on a 10-game slate, 8-game slate, 9-game slate, the first thing I'm trying to do is fade him. The first thing I'm trying to do is make a case, a really good case to why I should not spend that much in salary. But on a 4-game slate, there's no rhyme or reason to not playing Russell Westbrook. You had to get him in your lineups. He went out, didn't have that big triple-double game like you want, even a double-double game. But he dropped 45 real-life points, had 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. The one drawback to his game is the turnovers, and he really cut him down tonight. He only had 4 turnovers, so this was an all-around good game from Russell Westbrook. A really nice game we saw from him. Nobody else really balled out for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We had a couple decent showings. Vic Oladipo in 36 minutes, who actually led the team. He had 17 and 3 to go with 3 assists and 3 steals. That was nice. Steven Adams had 15 and 7. Not a great game there from him. Domantas Sabonis had 10 and 5 to go with 1 steal. And when the old chair punching, old punk ass, snowflake ass Enes Kanter, who I had none of, so I was cool with that. He only played 9 minutes. He had 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Not a great game from him while he was beating up on chairs and not beating on the boards like he should have been. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They were at home against the Indiana Pacers, and the Indiana Pacers finally decided to come out and play. And usually, what took me off of Paul George was small forwards usually do not play well against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But Paul George came to play tonight. 32 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, while shooting 54% from the field and hit 3 of 4 3-pointers. Nice game we saw from Paul George. We saw Thad Young grab 5 boards to go with 9 points, 1 assist, and 3 steals in his 31 minutes. Miles Turner, 23 and 6, did not really hit the boards, rebounding too hard. We saw a really nice game from Jeff Teague, the Heat check player tonight. Damn, they had a triple-double. He had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Pretty decent game there. Al Jefferson, in his 11 minutes off of the bench, had 8 and 6 to go with 1 assist. Decent game we saw from Al Jefferson. C.J. Miles had 9 and 6 to go with 1 assist and 1 steal in his 28 minutes. So it was a really good performance from a couple of guys on the Indiana side. The Minnesota side, not so much, man. We didn't see what we thought we were going to see from guys like Andrew Wiggins. He played 38 minutes and had 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Zach LaVine, who leads the league in minutes, who I have been like almost on him so many times. I really like his game. He plays so many minutes, a ton of minutes. I think he's like first or second in the league. Maybe him and LeBron keep changing back and forth for overall league leader in minutes per game. He went out and scored 23 points, had 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block at a lower price point than normal. Ricky Rubio only had 4 points, but he did dish out 12 dimes, had 4 steals, 2 rebounds. Pretty good game there we saw from Ricky Rubio. Shabazz Muhammad stopped his hot streak scoring off of the bench. He only had 8 points and 2 rebounds to go with a steal in his 19 minutes. And we did see a nice game from Karl Anthony Towns. 33 points, 10 boards, and 4 assists to go with 2 steals. Decent game. He also had 56% shooting, going 13 for 23 from the field, and hit 4 of 6 3-pointers. Gorgui Dieng almost hit a double-double, but he did a lot of different shit, man. 33 minutes for him. He had 8 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And I'm telling you, while Ricky Rubio is on the court, Gorgui Dieng is a good play. I'm telling you. The two of them have a rapport, and I get this from watching games. I watch so many games. I watch every NBA game. And when Ricky Rubio is not on the floor, Gorgui Dieng is like just not good. He's just not very good. And Ricky Rubio knows how to find him and knows how to set him up to score. He's a really good finisher. So when you've got a facilitator like that, a guy that can only score 4 points but dish out 12 assists, a few of them did go to Gorgui Dieng, and that's the way it's going to continue for the rest of the season. Next game we're going to talk about Denver Nuggets at home against the Phoenix Suns. This game went just like the game flow that we predicted went. We thought it was going to be a fairly close game. Both teams are going to be in it down the stretch, and we really thought that we were going to see a lot of points. We did. The total from these games, this game was 147 points. Denver Nuggets had 127, and the Phoenix Suns had 120. Now, T.J. Warren, finally, he led the team in minutes, had a really nice game. 41 minutes for him. He had 21 points, 8 rebounds with 1 block. Nice game you saw from T.J. Warren. Pretty good one we saw from Devin Booker, 24 points, 6 assists, 1 steal while shooting 52% from the field. He only hit 1 for 6 from 3. He has a better shooting percentage from behind 3-point line. Much better game for him. Eric Bledsoe, in his 27 minutes, started off real slow, caught 2 early fouls in the first quarter. He finished with 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Decent game we saw from him. Brandon Knight, he picked up all of those minutes since we didn't see Bledsoe due to the foul trouble early, and he had 17 points and 1 rebound with 4 assists and a block. Good game we saw from him. And this guy also shot 8 from 11 from the field and hit 1 of 2 3-pointers. Alex Len, he had 10 minutes, only had 4 points and 3 boards to go with 2 assists. Not a great game there. Tyson Chandler played 23 minutes, but he didn't do much. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. Not a great game there from him. PJ Tucker chipped in 11 and 4 and also had a steal in his 38 minutes while shooting 40% from the field. On the Denver Nuggets side, nice game we saw from one of my favorite small forwards in the league. And I really like Danilo Gallinari. He's an ex-Knick, so I do have an affinity for him. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, shooting 43% from the field and 2 for 7 from behind the arc. He also missed 3 free throws. Come on, Danilo. We need you to put the ball in the basket. Kenneth Faried, in his 21 minutes, had 15 and 6 to go with 1 steal. And Nikola Jokic strikes again. I'm telling you, he is on a list of guys, very short list, that I'm just going to play. I don't give a fuck what happens. I'm just going to play them. It's like him, Isaiah Thomas, right now. Like, I'm just going to play those guys. If they're on the slate, I'm going to play them. Fuck it. I don't care about the matchup. I'm going to play him. He had 29 points, 14 boards, 8 assists, damn near another triple-double, 1 assist, and 2 steals while shooting 57% from the field. Pretty good game there from him. Gary Harris underwhelmed in his 28 minutes. He had 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Monster game we saw from the guy that led this team in minutes tonight. Jameer Nelson, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 54% from the field. Only hit 1 of 4 from behind the arc, but a really nice game from him. Will Barton, 16 points from him. He had 2 rebounds and 4 assists. Pretty good game off the bench. Wilson Chandler didn't do much, but he did have 9 points, 9 boards, and 5 assists. Decent for that price point, but not anything to knock your socks off. The last game and the snoozer, the late night hammer should have been in this game, but this was a fucking snooze fest, bro. Like, I was waiting for this game to be over with so I can collect my dollar winnings and start the fucking show. This game was a fucking snooze fest. We're gonna start on the Lakers side. Nick Young led the starters in minutes. The starters in points. He had 13 points and 3 rebounds with 1 steal. Not good at all. Timothy Mozgov, 9 and 9 with 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. Tariq Black, 4 and 2 to go with 2 assists and 1 steal. And Jordan Clarkson off the bench had 16, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Also a steal for him. Lou Williams, 20 and 5 with one assist. Pretty decent game for him. We saw the Zubac, 16 points, 10 boards, 1 assist. He was the who that scored them points over there player tonight. Excellent game from him. We saw 20 minutes from Brandon Ingram. He did not score a point. did not score a point. Larry Nance, he's getting back into the groove, man. He played 22 minutes a night, had 4 points and 7 boards to go with 3 assists. Now, they said that Julius Randle was available to play, but due to a coach's decision, he just didn't play. He was kind of lightly injured. They just decided to hold him out. We're going to continue to monitor that and see how that goes throughout the rest of the week. On the Utah side, Gordon Hayward, man, he is playing some of the worst basketball I've seen from a player as talented as he is. Gordon Hayward is a tremendous talent and should be playing a lot better than he has been lately. In 32 minutes, he had 24 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal, while shooting 7 for 14 from the field, that's 15%, and 1 for 6 from 3. That's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. Derek Favors, he's getting back into shape too. He played 21 minutes, had 8.6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Not a great game from him, but we'll take that as a sign that he's working towards being fully healthy. Rudy Gobert, man, he fell 1 point shy of that double-double bonus. He had 9 points, 13 boards, 6 blocks. Big. That's huge. 6 blocks, that's huge. Rodney Hood in his first game back from injury had 5 points and 4 rebounds. Not a great game there. George Hill, 12 and 7, to go with 3 assists and 3 steals. We also saw Alec Burks for 13 minutes. He had 11 and 1 to go with an assist as well. Trey Lyles off for the bench in 18 minutes has 7 and 3 with 1 assist. Now that we've recapped last night's games, let's go ahead and jump into the player pricing for tomorrow's monster 9-game slate. This is a big one, and we're going to have to really do our due diligence when it comes to preparing ourselves to put together these great rosters that we're going to do. Let's go open up. DraftKings pricings. Oh, I forgot to show you. I may as well show you my very best DraftKings lineup. Well, we got it right here. I was around 280 like everywhere. 283, 270, 280, 280. I was 280 everywhere. My very best DraftKings lineup on the evening. I split my exposure to Devin Harris and Pierre Jackson, and it proved to not even make a fucking difference. Devin Harris here, 18.25. Steph Curry, 19. Harrison Barnes had 39. Karl Anthony Towns had 58. Al Jefferson, kind of a sneaky play. I thought I would steal something with him. He had 16 points. Westbrook I had 63. Gallinari, who I really liked, 37, and Vic Oladipo with 38. This lineup finished with 283.5 DraftKings points. That was my very best DraftKings lineup tonight. I did not hit the 300 club, but it's all good. It's all good. Still cash. And now let's go ahead and do a quick slate breakdown. Because we got tomorrow, we've got 10 games tipping off at 7 o'clock, right? So you know what I'm going to say next. Look at this. Look at this. 9-game here, sort of a turbo slate here. We've got 9 games here. We've got 5 games in the late at 8 o'clock. That starts at 7 too. We've also got 4 games in this turbo. Take advantage of these, bro. Take advantage of these. I mean, there's so much meat in there. I guarantee you, either this late or in this turbo, you can take advantage of making a really solid line. Like the line you made tonight that scored 300 some odd points, only because you didn't have a choice to roster certain cats, because it was only 4 games. Take that same approach here, and you get 3 something here, and drop it in the main slate. Easily straight to cash. Drop it in some cash games. Easily to cash, right? So let's go ahead and open this up. Every night, somebody hits me up and like, damn, man, I should have listened when you said to put my turbo in the main too. And it's a few clicks of the mouse, man, and it can be in there too. It's not even hard to do. It's not even hard to do. We've got to do that. Definitely a good form of strategy here. All right, so let's go ahead and break down the player pricing. First thing we're going to notice is that James Harden is 12.6K at Philadelphia. We may see Joel Embiid, we may not. I'm good. I'll have no Harden tomorrow. And it's not because of the DVP, the 9th ranked DVP. I think Houston beats the shit out of Philadelphia tomorrow. I think they do. And I'm not gonna no, I don't think, 12.6K, man, we want 70 something points from Harden. And I think on a 10-game slate, we can get that 6x value in other spots in other ways. DeMarcus Cousins is somebody who I really like at 11K going up against the Indiana Pacers. I like him. He's definitely in play. LeBron James. Now we can look at LeBron one or two ways. I've seen in some spots where LeBron has said, "Yo, I want to lead the league in minutes." I've also seen in some instances where you don't see LeBron in the fourth quarter when they're blowing teams out. Now, they're not just playing, a team that's going to be majorly competitive. They're playing the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow in Cleveland. Now I know the Cavs have been playing pretty bad lately, but there's no way that Brooklyn, I think, can hang on and hang around long enough to beat or to keep those guys on the floor. They're all priced up. The big three. Um, LeBron's at 10.2. You've got the other guys around 8K. I don't think that LeBron exceeds value tomorrow against the Brooklyn Nets. I could be wrong, but that's just my initial hunch. I don't think I'm going to be rolling out too much LeBron James tomorrow. I think the perfect pivot from that is going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. A lot of people are going to be on LeBron tomorrow because of the game he just had. I think Giannis is the way to go. I love Giannis tomorrow against the Toronto Raptors at 10K. I love him. John Wall, one of my favorite plays on the board. You know what we do. Atlanta, we attack them on the perimeter. What the fuck do you think Dennis Schroeder going to do with John Wall tomorrow? He can't do nothing with John Wall. John Wall going to go crazy tomorrow. You heard it here first. Anthony Davis is made of glass, and not even he's made of fine china, very easily broken. I won't be taking any chances playing Anthony Davis. Probably going to be out tomorrow anyway. Isaiah Thomas at 9.6K going up against against the Orlando Magic. This is a tough matchup for point guards. I don't know why. I don't know why, but this is a tough matchup for point guards. But guess what? Isaiah Thomas is on that list of two guys that are fucking matchup proof right now. Him and Jokic. I don't care. I'll roster him. I like Isaiah Thomas tomorrow. Kawhi Leonard is questionable. Probably going to play tomorrow. If he does play and we don't see Anthony Davis, I kind of like him. But the price is up. 9K is a lot. 9K is a lot. And I think there's other spots we can go. We don't have to go Kawhi Leonard tomorrow. Jimmy Butler, I'm not rostering any of those Chicago guys until they get their panties out their ass and figure out what the fuck is going on, man. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I don't like Jimmy Butler tomorrow. Kyle Lowry is a solid play for me at 8.6. I kind of like him. Joel Embiid, if he does play, I do not like him. He has a 28 minutes cap. I'm not paying 8.4K for anyone that has cap minutes. I'm not doing it. You can. It may work for you, but I'm not doing it. Kyrie Irving. If I was going to roster anybody on the Cleveland side tomorrow, it would be Kyrie Irving. Only because he'd be the primary ball handler, the point guard, bringing the ball up sometimes. LeBron does too. But I think Kyrie would be my favorite play. Also, he's cheaper than LeBron. So I do like Kyrie tomorrow. Kevin Love. Uh, see, Kevin Love is such a great rebounder. And we know that Brook Lopez is such a bad rebounder. And then you've got the fact that Trevor Booker hadn't been playing very well tomorrow. So Kevin Love is in play as a one-off. He is in play as a one-off. I think there's other places that you can go, but he is in play. And the reason why I like him at all is because people like this, who I really like, are so priced up. This dude was just 7.5. Now he's 8K in a negative matchup. So that's the only reason why you can actually think to roster Kevin Love tomorrow. Kemba Walker, I just don't roster Kemba Walker away from the Hive. I just don't. I just don't. Even though he's going up against my New York Knicks, and last time out he really had a good game against us, I just don't roster Kemba away from the Hive. Paul George at 7.9, he is in play. Remember, it's the second game of that back-to-back. Dame Lillard is a no for me at 7.8, going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. DeMar DeRozan probably will not play tomorrow, but he is questionable, so he could. LaMarcus Aldridge is a no for me at 7.6. If we don't see Anthony Davis, that changes a little bit for me. If we don't see Anthony Davis and he's going up against Terrence Jones, I do like LaMarcus Aldridge tomorrow. Goran Dragic, yes, 7.5K against the Bulls that don't know what the fuck is going on right now. Fire him up. Drew Holiday, that's also an interesting play because if we don't see Anthony Davis, the usage has to go somewhere. I think Drew Holiday can be a beneficiary. He's not going to have a 67-point game like he had last time. But you can definitely look to Drew Holiday tomorrow if we don't see Anthony Davis. Paul Millsap is in play against the Washington Wizards. I like him at 7.4K. That's a nice price for him. Hassan Whiteside, no. Mike Conley, yes. I like Mike Conley tomorrow. 7.4K. You can look for Dame to have a really good game or to play really well, but just not as well as for the price as Mike Conley will. I like Mike Conley tomorrow. This guy only gets up to the play against good point guards. If he's playing a shitty point guard, he'll play shitty. But if he's matched up against somebody who's really good, he's gonna bring his best game. And I like Mike Conley tomorrow. Nick Batum, 7.3. He's definitely in play for me tomorrow. Even though it's a fifth-ranked DVP against that shooting guard, small forward position, we still can go to Nick Batum. Carmelo Anthony is going to be seeing maybe some MKG. And if that's the truth, kind of don't like Carmelo too much. Kind of don't like him. Jeff Teague at 7.2 is in play for me. Now, we can't forget that this says that they're middle of the pack DVP against point guards, but Darren Collison, even though he likes to hit the chicks, he's a pretty decent defender. So I think Jeff Teague is still in play. The price is 7.2. That's a nice price on him for what he can bring to the table. I think we can look to Jeff Teague tomorrow, but just be aware that he's probably not going to get a 50-point game from like you had last night. CJ McCollum at 7.1. It says it's a 26th ranked DVP against the shooting guard position, but you know what? I just don't like to test Tony Allen. I like to test Tony Allen. And the only thing that would kind of make me think, really look to CJ McCollum is, number one, his usage, and number two, he can shoot the jump shot so deep that the defense can't even get a chance to get out there to him. He's running off screens, knocking down a deep shot. So CJ McCollum is in play, just not so much for me. Elfrid Payton at 7K. The price is up on him. Nah, I'm not rostering Elfrid Payton at 7K. Not against Isaiah Thomas and that perimeter defense. You've got to be on the lookout because if Avery Bradley is back, I really don't want any part of the Orlando perimeter. Al Horford, 7K. He's in play for me. Dwayne Wade, 7K. No, I'm not doing anything with them Chicago guys. Jabari Parker, I only roster Jabari Parker at home. Terrence Jones at 6.9K. If we find out for sure that we're not going to see Anthony Davis before lock, I do like Terrence Jones. Bradley Beal is in play at 6.8. Markieff Morris is in play at 6.8. Dion Waiters, no, that's too much for me. I'm not doing it. I'm not chasing them points. I'm just not. Dwight Howard at 6.7. He is in play for me. Miles Turner is a yes at 6.6. Nikola Vucevic, we can attack Boston rebounding the basketball with Nikola Vucevic at 6.5. I like him. Brook Lopez is a no for me. Dennis Schroeder. In some spots, you can go Dennis Schroeder. In some spots because we know John Wall is more of an offensive player than a defensive player. He's not going to go as hard on defense on the ball as he does go to score the ball. So I don't mind Dennis Schroeder tomorrow as a contrarian play. A lot of people will not be on him. The ownership will probably be way less than 10% on a 10-game slate. Serge Ibaka, another option for attacking Boston on the boards, 6.3K. I like Vucevic more than him, but if I'm in a quandary where I don't have enough to get Vucevic and I can roster Ibaka, I'll definitely do that. Kristaps Porzingis is in a really interesting spot because I feel like over the last few games, he has not been fully healthy. That's just what I feel. I feel like he has not been 100% healthy, and they haven't been rolling him out there for the real amount of minutes that we want to see Kristaps. So if I'm going to stick close to the Knicks beat writers and see what's going on Twitter and see where we can project Porzingis' minutes. And if we are projecting high 20s, 28, 29, maybe even 30 minutes for Kristaps at that 6.2K, I mean, that's doable. That's like 12 points and 8 rebounds at a block. Like that's so easy to get the 5 to 6x value at a price point that low on Kristaps. So that's something that we can definitely look at throughout the day. Mason Plumlee, 6.1. That's a sneaky contrarian play. I don't think I'll be on it tomorrow. The only thing that has me kind of liking the spot that he's in is that they are at home, and he does play very well. His home road splits are sick. He's very good at home. Otto Porter at 6K. The price is down on him. He's in play for me. Zach Randolph going back to Portland. There is a narrative here, a revenge narrative here. He was the man in Portland at one point. 6K is the price point. We may not see JaMychal Green. I do like Zach Randolph against the 30th ranked defense versus the power forward position. Jay Crowder is in play for me. He has been trending up lately. Urson Ilyasova is a no. David Lee is a no for me. Nerlens Noel, 5.8 is the salary. I don't like him. The only way I would play Nerlens Noel in this situation is if we know Joel Embiid isn't going to play. If Joel Embiid does play, there's no way that I'm rostering Nerlens Noel. Jonas Valanciunas is in play at 5.8. Marcus Smart is a no. Avery Bradley says he could be back tomorrow. We're going to be monitoring that. Derrick Rose, 5.7. Very interesting spot for him. The price is down. We've been seeing Derrick Rose lately hover around 6.4, 6.5. The price is down to 5.7. He doesn't have to do much to return that 5 to 6x value on that. So we're going to monitor that during the day and see where we can suggest his minutes are going to be. Dan Young at 5.7 is in play. Robert Covington, really nice play here, 5.7. Trevor Ariza is not the defender that he's been in past seasons. I like Robert Covington to take advantage of that. James Johnson, 5.6. Yes. I haven't been on James Johnson lately, but the price is going down far enough. And the Chicago Bulls team is in such a disarray. I think that we can attack them in different spots tomorrow. I really like just about anybody that's playing the Chicago Bulls right now. Tyreek Evans, yeah, 5.6. We can use him. Martin Gore's hot, no. Aaron Gordon, the cheapest way on the board to attack, one of the cheapest ways on the board to attack the Boston rebounding situation. Don't think I'm going to have too much of him. Trevor Ariza is a no for me. Evan Fournier, he may play. I think he's probably going to be out. Tyler Johnson is going to be out. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is very interesting at 5.3. He does the dirty work, man. He sees a lot of minutes with the second team. He could be somebody that we look to at 5.3. But there's a cheaper option that I like a little bit more. TJ McConnell, 5.3 is a no for me. Eric Gordon is a no for me. Greg Monroe, he's in play. This next play, Pat Bev, this is probably one of my favorite point guard plays on this slate. Very cheap, 5.2. I mean, all he has to do is be himself for 32 minutes. If we can get 32 minutes of Pat Beverly being his little pesky, natty, fly up your ass, fly on the wall type motherfucker, we can get that for 29, 30 minutes. I think we see a nice return on that 5.2K investment from Patrick Beverly. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate. I do like him tomorrow. Kent Bazemore is dead to me, but I'm gonna issue out. Kent. Yeah, 5.1K. You give me 33 points tomorrow, you're alive. Ball's in your court. Draymond is gonna be out. Cody Zeller may play tomorrow. If he does, I like him at 5K against my New York Knicks. Of course, we know Paul Gasol's still out. Malcolm Brogdon. Now, I saw some stuff earlier. He is one of the top projected point per dollar plays on tomorrow's slate. That's something to look at. Marvin Williams is the play that I really like at 4.8. That's very cheap. Darren Collison, really like him at 4.8 going against that Jeff T defense. I like Ryan Anderson. There's a lot of meat in this little area right here. From Brogdon to Williams to Darren Collison to Ryan Anderson, I like that right there. Very meaty area right there. Willie Reed, the price is up on him because we may not see Hassan Whiteside tomorrow. He did, I think he took the knee or something like that. So we might see some Willie Reed. Gino Okafor is a no for me. Evan Turner is a player that I kind of like. Tony Allen at 4.7, I like him. Taj Gibson is a no. I'm not rostering anybody from the Chicago side. Trevor Booker, he has been playing pretty shitty lately. I think that continues tomorrow against Kevin Love and LeBron. 4.6, no for me. I even like Tristan Thompson in that game. That would be a place that I would go. I like Tristan Thompson in that game. Clint Capella, one of my favorite cheap center options on the board. At 4.6, you cannot argue with that. Norman Powell is a no for me. Especially if we see DeMar DeRozan back. There's no need for Norman Powell if DeMar DeRozan does come back and plays his full allotment of minutes tomorrow. Patty Mills, no for me. Josh Richardson, out. Tony Parker, if he plays, I like Tony Parker. 4.5K, you cannot beat that. If we see Tony Parker tomorrow, I like him. Alfred Camino is a no for me. Sean Kilpatrick, yes, I kind of like him. Matthew Dellavedova is a no for me. Jermichael Green may not play tomorrow. He is questionable. Jody Meeks is out. We know that. Wayne Ellington, we can attack Chicago. We can attack him. I like Wayne Ellington tomorrow at 4.3K. Spencer Hawes, he had that great game last time, and now he's priced up through the roof. And 4.3 for a guy that's like the 8th man off of the. Nah, I'm cool with that. DeMar Carroll, 4.3 is in play for me at that cheap salary. DeJounte Murray, if he gets to start over Tony Parker tomorrow, we can definitely look to him. Kelly Olynyk is a no for me. Robin Lopez, no. Iman Shumpert, yes, at 4.2. I kind of like that. Bojan, no for me. Garrett Temple, he's had a couple of good games out, but I'm not going to fuck with him tomorrow. Dario Saric, yes, I kind of like him. Terrence Ross is a no for me. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a no for me. Jeff Green is another way to attack the Boston rebounder, but he's just not going to see enough minutes. Nikolai Richards is no. Kyle Korver is somebody who I kind of have my eye on at 4K. I kind of like that. Karis LeVert, yes, for me, is a cheap small forward play. Ty Lawson, 4K, no. I think Darren Collison has kind of made that like, yo, this is okay. I'm back. Yeah, I like to hit the chicks, but I'm back. So I think he definitely sees a backseat. Ty Lawson does for the rest of the season. Bismack, this is the cheapest way on the board to attack Boston rebounding. I'm gonna have some Bismack beyond on my lineups tomorrow. Michael Carter Williams is a no for me. Marco Bellinelli, yes, at 3.9. Very cheap play there. Courtney Lee, yes, 3.9. Had 23 real life points last time out. I think he's a streaky hot shooter, playing pretty well lately. I kind of like Courtney Lee tomorrow. Hernan Gomez, if we knew he was going to see 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I'd like him. It's just so hard to gauge how many minutes this guy's going to get. So I may throw him in one lineup, but he's not going to be like a staple or a core player or anything like that. Matt Barnes is a no. Rashawn Holmes is a no. Corey Joseph is a no for me. C.J. Watson, no for me. Frank Kaminsky, yes. 3.8. I love Frank Kaminsky tomorrow, especially if Cody Zeller is out. I like Frank Kaminsky in that spot. Sergio Rodriguez is down to 3.8. No for me. Sam Decker is a no for me. Solomon Hill, no. Harkless, he may play tomorrow, may not. If he does, I don't like him. Joakim Noah at 3.7 is definitely a play to be on the lookout for tomorrow. You've got to pay attention to that. We can attack Charlotte rebounding the basketball. And if he can't do anything else, if he can't shoot free throws, he can get a couple rebounds. So CJ Miles, yes, he's in play at 3.7. Montrezl Harrell is a no for me. Danny Green, no. Andrew Harrison, no. Alan Crabb, yes, at 3.7 is a very cheap shooting guard / small forward play. I like him. Kyle O'Quinn, we got to watch him at 3.6. Eatron Moore had a nice game out last time at 3.6. He may be viable here. Dante Cunningham is a no for me. Dwayne Dedman, 3.6. If something crazy happens in the San Antonio side, we're going to sit everybody. Dwayne Dedman, Vince Carter, 3.6 is a no for me. Kelly Oubre, 3.5, no. Let's find somebody that Okara right. This is an interesting play here. 3.5K. If we know we're not going to see Hassan Whiteside tomorrow, he's ruled out. That's somebody that we can definitely look to as a very cheap pump play at the center position. Channing Frye is a play that I like. 3.5, I like him. I like Channing Frye as a very cheap play. Michael Beasley is at 3.5. I like him as a very cheap play. When I'm talking about him, I'm talking about once you got everybody that you want and you filling in rosters, and you got, damn, I got the 4 spot left and I got 3,500. There they are. I like them. Jonathan Simmons is a no for me. Manu Ginobili, 3.5. Yeah, we can look to Manu tomorrow. In that situation. Spencer Dinwiddie, if he does get to start, you gotta like him at 3.4 tomorrow. Against Kyrie Irving defense, if he does get to start the game, you've got to like him at 3.4. Ramon Sessions is no for me. Anthony Tolliver, yes, at 3.4 as a very cheap small forward option. Nick Stauskas, no. Tim Frazier, Buddy Hield. Rajon Rondo, 3.3. Man, that is cheap for Rajon Rondo, and I ain't fucking with it. Justin Hamilton, no. Gerald Henderson is a play that I always like. If he's starting tomorrow at shooting guard, I like Gerald Henderson. At 3.3K, the dude's going to score 20 points. He can get to 20 points. I don't mean real life, but I mean DraftKings points. I like Gerald Henderson tomorrow, especially going up against James Harden. James Harden will let him score, but just outscore him. Isaiah Whitehead at 3.2. He could start tomorrow. Brandon Jennings at 3.2. Not so much for me. Al Jefferson is a play I like at 3.2 as a punt play at the center position. I do like Al Jefferson tomorrow. John Henson is a no for me. Galloway, 3.2, could be a nice punt play there at the shooting guard position. We got a lot of good shit on this, man. Let's go ahead and find the 3K play of the day. I'm talking about a guy that's cheap as shit that we think can go out and hit that 10x for us. Let's go ahead and check it out. Y'all see anything? 'Cause I don't see nothing. Felicio, 3K? I'm not playing anybody from Chicago, though. I'm just not. Boy, it's slim pickings, boy, for the 3K. It's slim pickings. Nope. Ooh, Nene. Nene. He's at 3K. Minimum salary. We need to do some research on this because if if the kid is starting, the young kid is starting, Montrezl Harrell is the second and he's the third. I don't know. We may be able to look at that. The name might be a nice play. Let's open up that player card, man, and see exactly what he's been doing lately. Check the last 10 games for the name. Last time out he played 22 minutes. He had 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 32 fantasy points at 3K. 23 at 3K. So, yeah, we can look to Nene. We can look to Nene tomorrow. He is one of my favorite 3K plays. So, now that we've looked at the player pricing for tomorrow's 10-game slate, let's go ahead and jump into the point totals. We're going to review those fairly quickly as we know tomorrow we're going to be meeting again around 1 o'clock to do the midday mix. Then I will be with you again at about 6:15 for about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, right before lineups lock tomorrow. So let's go ahead and jump into the point totals for tomorrow. First game we're going to start with on this big 10-game slate. It's going to be a 7 o'clock game. It's the Indiana Pacers at home against the Sacramento Kings. We already know the Pacers are on a back-to-back. We know that the Sacramento Kings are well rested. There's a lot to like about this game, in my opinion. It's going to be a -4 in favor of the Indiana Pacers. They are giving up 4 points to the Sacramento Kings. I like Boogie in this game. I think he can have a really nice one against that kind of soft Indiana front court. Miles Turner is just not ready to go up against a guy like Boogie. Not at all. So I think Boogie is definitely clearly in play at his price point. Also, and now I like Darren Collison. We talked about him already. He's somebody I think we can definitely look to. If you want to go cheap, you're talking Costa Kufis, you're talking Willie Cauley-Stein, guys that I probably will not have any exposure to tomorrow. On the Indiana side, Paul George is trending up. You can take a shot on him if you like. I think there's other ways that I want to go as far as that small forward position. Jeff Teague is in a really nice spot too to blow up. And you're going to see the ownership a little higher on Boogie than normal because he usually plays the West Coast game and it's a late game. And folks really want to see their money in front of them. They want to look and they want to win a tournament at 7 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, they want to be counting $100,000. So a lot of times those players that's in those earlier games, they see a lot higher ownership than they would if they were in late games. Don't ask me why. That's just what it is. So you're going to see, I think, a pretty nice ownership on Boogie. I'm thinking between 17 and 22% ownership is what you're going to see on Boogie tomorrow. And on the 10-game slate, that's pretty high. So fading is definitely beneficial. But if he goes the fuck off, I mean, one of them Boogie games, big 80-point Boogie games, you're going to be left behind. Next game we're going to talk about, Orlando Magic going to Boston to take on the Celtics. There is no point total yet for this game. We already know the Boston Celtics are going to be heavily favored in this game. They're probably going to win this game handily. There's not much to like on the Orlando side, but there's some sweatshop laws you just can't ignore. You've got to attack Boston rebounding the basketball. And there's 3 ways to do that. You can do that at a solid salary with Nikola Vucevic at 6.5. You can go a couple hundred less and get a guy that has not as much scoring upside, but he does have really good defensive upside in Serge Ibaka at 6.3, a guy who we don't always know if he's going to come to play or not. Or you can take the uber ultra cheap route and go all the way down to Bismack Biyombo and see if he can get busy against the Boston Celtics. I'm going to do a little bit of both when it comes to Bismack Biyombo as well as a choice between Ibaka and Vucevic. As far as the perimeter goes on the Boston side, there's no argument for not taking advantage of how well Isaiah Thomas has been playing lately. I mean, the dude is a fucking boss, and he's just going nuts anywhere, wherever he wants to do. I mean, I think he's leading the league in fourth quarter points. So I don't even get worried if he's like behind schedule in the second or third quarter. I'm not even like worried. People are like panicking. Oh my god, this is crazy. IT2's only got 10 points at the half. This is crazy. And he like busts out a 24-point real life, fourth quarter and goes ham. So I'm not even worried about him, man. He's a boss and he's gonna play well. Al Horford definitely deserves consideration in this game. We don't see Avery Bradley. You've got the scoring's got to come from somewhere. The defense got to come from somewhere. Jay Crowder is also a really good play. So there's a lot to like about the Boston side of this game, but only one place that I would be going on the Orlando side, and that is in the interior to attack Boston rebound in the basketball. Next game, we're going to talk about the people that whoever gets this game right, I think gets the money. I think the key to tomorrow's slate is getting this game right. Whether it is fading, whether it is picking which one of the big three that's going to go off, whether it is stacking the big three and they don't play well and we see a full allotment of minutes for them, whether it is scrub love on the Brooklyn side that allows you to open up that opens up value that you can roster other studs and other spots. This game is the key to the slate, and I'm talking about the Brooklyn Nets going to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. It is a 226-point total. I believe at this point, the highest point total on the slate. The only thing that rubs us the wrong way is the blowout potential. The Cleveland Cavaliers are giving up 14.5 points to the Brooklyn Nets. And we know how bad the Cavs have been playing lately. The Sacramento Kings suck. They're a bad team without Rudy Gay. And they beat the Cavaliers in Cleveland. So I mean, which Cavs team is going to show up? Is it going to be the champions? Or is it going to be, we need a playmaker Cavs? Like, which one is it going to be? And I don't know if I'm willing to take that if I'm willing to invest that much salary into any of these guys tomorrow. I think I'm going to play it as safe as possible. And the money because I can automatically see, I like LeBron. But just something is telling me Giannis would be a better play at lower ownership. Something is telling me that's the direction I'm probably going to be going a lot tomorrow. But I do like Kyrie. I think Kevin Love is an instant double-double in this game. The only thing is, do they see full running minutes? They could. We'll have to watch the game to see. On the Brooklyn Nets side, we can always attack Kyrie Irving. We can always attack him on the perimeter. We can do that with Spencer Dinwiddie. We can do that with Sean Kilpatrick if he sees a nice amount of run off the bench. Bojan Bogdanovic is not somebody who I really like in this game as well. And Brook Lopez is probably like their main mode of offensive output. But against Tristan Thompson, who's a pretty decent defender, and I just don't think, unless Brook Lopez steps outside and starts and hits 7 of 14 threes like he did the other night, I don't foresee him having a huge game, even though it says he's in a good spot. Next game I'm going to talk about is my New York Knicks at the crib, MSG, taking on the Charlotte Hornets. These are my two favorite teams. I'm a Knicks fan, but I just love the Hornets. You know how I feel about them. This is Kemba going to New York. It's kind of a coming home of sorts, now that I think about it, because he is a Brooklyn guy, I believe. So this is, it's not like holes at the Hive. It ain't like the holes at the Hive. But I'm sure you got some holes in Brooklyn. You got to. Some holes in New York. You got to. So, man, I do like Kemba tomorrow. I will make up an excuse to roster Kemba. I do like Kemba tomorrow. The game is even. I don't know how. They're a way better team than we are. 212.5 is the point total. Like I said, the game is even. It is a pick 'em. I like Kemba tomorrow. I'm going to be rostering me some Kemba tomorrow. He's going home to New York. We've also, on the Knicks side, we talked about attacking Charlotte, rebounding. A few ways we can do that. We can do that, of course, with the usual suspects, Kristaps Porzingis, as well as Joakim Noah. If you want to get a little deeper and more intricate, you can go Hernan Gomez, maybe some Kyle O'Quinn, even though we don't have any idea what the minutes are going to be looking like for him. Courtney Lee is definitely in play. He did play with the Charlotte Hornets last couple seasons, so not a revenge narrative. He's just familiar with the guys on the other side of the ball, so I can see him having a decent game. Nick Batum is somebody who I kind of like in this spot, but MKG, man, he's at a really good price point and Marvin Williams is probably my favorite interior play from the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow. We also can look to Frank Kaminsky as well off of the bench. If we don't see Cody Zeller, we can definitely. There's a lot of Charlotte guys that can go off of big points. So this is one of the most unselfish teams in basketball, and they really can run up the score fantasy scoring wise. Next game I'm going to talk about Milwaukee Bucks going to Toronto Raptors. I love Giannis tomorrow. I just do. I don't like Jabari Parker as much. I just love Giannis tomorrow. I think we see a nice game from Giannis. One of those big Giannis games I think is in store for us tomorrow. Kyle Lowry is in play. Not so much that I have to have him in a lot of different lineups. Maybe I'll have him in one if I roll out 5. I also think we need to pay attention to Malcolm Brogdon on the other side. Looking at around some other sites, man, they're projecting the and it's sites that I trust. It's like Labs, you know what I'm saying? They're projecting his like 5.3, and Labs is pretty. They're pretty strict with their point per dollar projections. So I think you can trust them just a little bit more than the other sites. So I do like Malcolm Brogdon tomorrow. I think a really sharp play off of the bench is going to, a really sharp play is going to be Jonas Valanciunas. A lot of folks are going to go Greg Monroe. I need him to start before I can just roster him with complete confidence, even though I know that's not going to happen because Jason Kidd just doesn't do smart things. So I'm not sure how much Greg Monroe we're going to see. Last time we saw a lot of him, didn't see that much of him before that. So who knows? I think we can look to Michael Beasley some. If we need that salary savings to pay up in other spots, Michael Beasley is definitely somebody that we can look to. But I love Giannis tomorrow. He's probably one of my favorite plays on tomorrow's slate. Next game we're going to talk about Houston Rockets going to Philadelphia, to the city of brotherly love, to take on the 76ers. Not much to like in this game for me. My favorite play in this game is Patrick Beverley. That's what I like the most because he gives me, the nicest floor for the best price and in a really good matchup against kind of a bad team because the Philadelphia 76ers are not a good team, especially without Joel Embiid. I like Ryan Anderson some on the Houston side. Capella, I think, is in a really nice spot there. We talked about the 3K player today, Nene. Um, so there's some stuff to like on the Houston side. Eric Gordon is a no for me. But Harden, no for me. I'm not playing Harden at all. Like 0. I'm gonna have 0 Harden tomorrow. Philadelphia 76ers side of the ball. You can play Joel Embiid. I'm not doing it. Robert Covington is the only player that I kind of like, as well as sprinkles of Gerald Henderson if he does get to start over Nick Stauskas. Excuse me. What's up the drink? Next game I'm going to talk about Washington Wizards going to ATL, where I'll be this Saturday and Sunday actually, going to ATL to take on the Atlanta Hawks. Man, John Wall is a fucking beast, and he's going to have a really nice game. And we can attack Atlanta on the perimeter, most specifically at the point guard position. Yeah, you, Dennis Schroeder, we can attack you. You're not very good defensively. So I like John Wall tomorrow. I think we can also put in play at that lower price point. He's 6K now. We can put Otto Porter back into play. He doesn't have to do an astronomical amount in order to meet that 5 to 6X value. I like him. Martin Gortat is a no for me. Markieff Morris, I kind of like him. The price is up 6.8. Don't know how I feel about that. I would much rather just go ahead and take Bradley Beal and see if I can get a nice 30 points real life point game from Bradley Beal with a few rebounds, a few assists, and maybe a steal on the block. On the Atlanta side, Paul Millsap is definitely in play. This is going to be a very fast-paced game because, as you know, the pace of the game is usually dictated by the very best player on the floor, and that's going to be John Wall. He's going to be running up and down the court, so the Atlanta Hawks are going to be doing the same. So I think we can look to the Hawks side too. I think this is a kind of a stackable game, like a mini stack, maybe 4 players, 3 or 1, 2 or 2, something like that from each side. I like this game a lot. Dwight Howard is also in play, even though they may push the pace so heavy that we don't see 30 minutes or 28 minutes from Dwight Howard. So I don't like him as much as I like somebody like Paul Millsap, who can be on the floor under any circumstance. Next game I'm going to talk about the Miami Heat. The Atlanta Hawks are giving up 4 points at home to the Washington Wizards. It's a 211.5 point total. Pretty good point total there. Next game is going to be the Miami Heat going to Chicago to take on the Bulls. The Bulls are in a disarray right now. Complete disarray. So anybody that you really think can have a nice game against the Chicago Bulls, with the exception of Dion Waiters, is in play for me. I love Goran Dragic. I think we look to James Johnson. We look to him. If you want to really get cheap and freaky, if we don't see Hassan Whiteside, you can look to Willie Reed. So I mean, there's a lot to like. This team is bad. The Chicago Bulls team is like they're in a bad way, and it's kind of ridiculous. So I won't be rostering anybody from that side of the ball. Let's talk about the next game. The San Antonio Spurs going to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. There is no point total yet for this game because you know we're still waiting on that news from Anthony Davis. Hopefully we get that before the midday mix. That way we can adjust our cores and get everything set for the pre-lock show. But Terrence Jones is going to be a very popular play, even though they're playing against the San Antonio Spurs. If we don't see Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday is somebody that definitely deserves consideration, as well as Tyreek Evans. I kind of like him. Most of all the three, I like Tyreek Evans. If Anthony Davis plays, I like Tyreek Evans more than everybody. If Anthony Davis doesn't play, I think I'm gonna let everybody else eat up Terrence Jones and Drew Holiday, and I'll probably fade all together. Because they're going to suck all the usage away from Tyreek Evans, those two. They're ball hogs. That's kind of what they did last game, too. So that game's kind of hard. And then you factor in that they're playing against San Antonio. Popovich team defense. Are we going to see, Kawhi Leonard tomorrow? There's a lot of question marks involved in this game. And it is an 8 o'clock start. So we hope that we can get that news, man, way before lineups lock. On the San Antonio side, I already told you, if whoever gets to start at point guard, I like. Whoever starts at point guard for San Antonio, I like them. Fire them up because they're all cheap. I think DeJounte Murray's like 4.3. I think Tony Parker's like 4.4, 4.5. I know Patty Mills is pretty cheap. Whoever starts at point guard for San Antonio, I like them tomorrow. I think they're gonna have a really, really easy night running the floor for the Spurs. Manu Ginobili is in play as a cheap option at the shooting guard position. If we don't see Anthony Davis, fire up Aldridge. I like him. If we do see Anthony Davis, I would lean more toward Kawhi Leonard if he does play. Does that mean maybe the game's going to be a little closer? Maybe, with Anthony Davis on the floor. Maybe just maybe. The game is in New Orleans. Maybe they keep it just a little bit closer. The last game on the slate and the late night hammer game is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies leaving the Grindhouse, going to the Motor Center to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. This is a 207-point total. Not a big one, but the spread is only 1 point. So the Blazers are giving up 1 point. So we've got a good game here. Instantly, Mike Conley is one of my favorite players on the stage. I like Mike Conley. I like him. Anytime he's up against another point guard that's really good, I like him. We can definitely look to Marc Gasol, even though he's priced up a little bit. The ownership is going to be low on him because the game is so late. Mike Conley as well. We can definitely look to Tony Allen in some spots. I like him. He's going to see a lot of defensive usage because CJ McCollum sees a lot of offensive usage. So that means he's going to be on the floor a lot, getting points, getting a few rebounds, getting a block, getting a steal here and there. I do like Tony Allen tomorrow. If we don't see JaMychal Green, and we know for sure JaMychal Green is not going to play, you can fire up Zebo. This is a true revenge narrative. Like, he really enjoyed playing in Portland and being like the best player on that team, and they got rid of him. So whenever he goes there, he balls out. When they go to Memphis or the web team, he doesn't go ham. But when he goes to Portland, the people in Portland love Zebo. He's like a cult hero kind of. They love Zebo in Portland, and he balls out against them. So I think he really does have a nice game tomorrow in respect to that revenge narrative. On the Portland side, Plumlee is in play, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to pay for him when I like Nikolai Vucevic at just 400 more in a much better matchup with a sweatshop law. It's gonna be hard because I don't think I'm gonna be rolling out two centers tomorrow. Tomorrow, when I build my lineups, I'm gonna have as many primary ball handlers on my roster as possible. Most nights, I am rolling out 3-point guards. Most nights, and a point forward, and a shooting guard that also handles the ball. Like, I want as many point guard style players, facilitators, on my roster as possible. That's just the way I build my lineup. So, Alfred Amino's not in play for me. Evan Turner, somebody who I do like on the Portland side. You can take a shot with Lillard going up against Conley, but I'd just rather have Conley. Lillard, the price higher than Conley. I'd just rather have Conley, and I don't want both of them. I don't want them in a head-to-head. I don't like that. McCollum is in play, but I think Tony Allen does slow him down just a tick. So that may funnel some scoring out to the wing. Guys that can shoot the kick out 3-point shots. People like uh, Allen Crabbe could definitely benefit from having that tough shooting guard defensive presence from Tony Allen on CJ McCollum. So there's a few ways to look at this as far as game flow is concerned. If you want to get involved in this game as having a late night hammer, definitely look into the individual plays and the matchups and see what you come up with. Now, this has been your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Thank you so much for patronizing the boy, giving me a voice here on YouTube. You are really the truest sense of support for the show. If you'd like to support the show further, there's a box over there. Click that motherfucker and let it take you where it need to take you. If you wanted to support the show by becoming a part of the DFS Sweatshop fam, an official card-carrying member of the DFS Sweatshop, go ahead and visit the website www.dfssweatshop.com. That is where you will see all of our tools, of the tutorials, the Core 4 roster building strategy. Not only do I release my Core 4, but we teach you how to come up with your own Core 4 and fill out your 8-man DraftKings rosters, as well as your 9-man FanDuel rosters. The process works. If you don't believe me, check my Twitter. We talk about it all day long. We like a secret society that's not secret. We ain't no secret because we coming, and they see us. They see us every tournament. They see us, and we there, and we winning. And guess what else we doing? We keeping it 300.